Hello dear students, my name is Vikram Nalavade. I am from Mechanical Engineering Department working at Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering, Hyderabad, Isalganji. Today we will discuss some of the machining processes in which we'll discuss shaper and planer machines. Along with that, we'll cover broaching operation. So let's start about shaper machine. So this is the picture of shaper machine, as it is clear that here it is a ram which provides the motion to the tool connected at the end of the ram here. This tool is used to cut the material from the surface. This is the workpiece, and that workpiece is kept on the table. So generally, what is a shaper? The main function of a shaper is the machining of flat surfaces by means of straight line reciprocating single point cutting tools. It is similar to those used in lathe operations. The flat surfaces produced may be horizontal, vertical, or it may be inclined at an angle. These machines tools can also be arranged for machining contoured parts, slots, grooves, and other recesses. Job is held rigidly in the vise in the shaper machine. So generally such kind of shaping machines are used to machine horizontal surfaces, vertical surfaces, angular surfaces. It is used to cut slots, grooves, and keyways. It also produces it is also used to machine the irregular surfaces, or it is used in the case of splines and cutting gears. So this is a typical block diagram of shaper machine. So here the main parts of the shaper machine will discuss about the base, column, ram, table, cross rail, saddle, tool head. So let's discuss about the base. It is the foundation part here. So the base is the necessary bed or support required for all machine tools. All other parts are mounted on and above the base here. The shaper is installed by rigidly bolting the bed to the shop floor. The bed takes up the total dead weight of the machine as well as the dynamic load during machining operation. Its material is usually grey cast iron. Grey cast iron has good vibration resistance, damping properties, and also having compressive strength. So next is the column. This is the vertical part here. This is the column. The column of a shaper is a hollow casting and is mounted on the base. It houses the drive mechanism for the ram and the table. At the top of the column, the bearing surfaces known as guideways are provided on which the ram reciprocates. So next is we'll discuss about ram here. So this is the ram portion, so in which the ram carries the tool head at its front end and travels in guideways to give straight line reciprocating motion to the tool. Here the tool is connected. The ram is either mechanically driven or hydraulically operated. A single point cutting tool is fastened in the tool post. As the ram moves forward, it completes the cutting stroke. Next is a table. This is the table over which workpiece is mounted. So the work table of the shaper is fastened to the front of the column. The table moves across the column on cross rails to give the feed motion to the job. The next main part we'll discuss is here the tool head here. The tool head holds the cutting tool and is fastened to front of the ram. The tool is held in a tool holder or tool post similar to the lathe tool post. The tool post and the tool block fit snugly in the clapper box and is hinged at a upper edge. During the forward cutting stroke, the tool block is solidly supported against the clapper box due to the cutting force. On the return stroke, the tool block is free to swing forward from its pivot. So these are some important parts we have discussed here. Generally, saddle over which work table is mounted, and it is moved in cross manner by using this cross rail that is operated by this cross transverse handle. If we classify, there are a number of types of shaper machines that can be classified according to the position of ram travel, that may be horizontal, vertical, and traveling head shaper. It can be classified according to cutting stroke action, push type shaper, then draw type shaper. It can be classified according to the driving mechanism. It is crank type, gear type, and hydraulic type. It can be classified according to the table design. It is the standard table design, standard shaper, and universal shaper. So we will will clarify about mechanism, that is crank and slotted lever quick return mechanism, here in which cutting action of the tool is explained by use of this crank and slotted lever quick return mechanism. In this, the mechanical ram drive is a slotted arm quick return motion mechanism. The slotted arm is pivoted at its lower end to the column and its upper end is connected by a link to an adjustable ram block which is secured to the ram. Power from an electric motor is transmitted to the bull gear through gears and bull gear pinion. A pin fits freely into the hole in the bull gear block, which can be slid in the slot of the rocker arm. As the bull gear rotates, it carries the pin in a circular path with the help of the crank. This makes the rocker arm to swing back and forth about its stationary point K. This is the stationary point fixed here. Thus the rotary motion of the bull gear is converted into reciprocating manner motion of the ram with the cutting tool. So this is mechanically driven shaper make use of the slotted arm quick return mechanism used for cutting the surface material. So next we will discuss about the planer machine. Here these are the types of shaper machine, planer machine. It is a block diagram showing the basic components of double housing planer, and this is the block diagram of an open side planer. Generally, in conventional planers, the work held on the table. This is a table over which workpiece is mounted. It reciprocates past the tool or tools. However, in unconventional planers, the table is stationary and the tool head reciprocates. The planer is the largest of the reciprocating machine, and planer is a machine with a cutting tool that makes repeated horizontal strokes across the surface of the workpiece. It is used to cut flat surfaces into the metal. So here is the classification of the planer machines. It can be classified according to the types like double housing planar, open side planar, edge type planar, divide table planar, pit type planar. The main parts of planar machine: bed, table, housing, cross rail, tool heads. We'll discuss some of the parts here. The bed of the planar machine. The bed is a large, heavy casting strengthened with the cross ribs to provide a stiff, heavy support for heavy machine. Very large beds consist of two or more castings carefully machined and bolted together. The length of the bed is about twice the length of the table. The bed provides the ways for the table to run on. It also houses the drive mechanism for the table. Then next we'll discuss table here. The table on which the work is clamped reciprocates along the ways of the bed and has T-slots in its upper surface for clamping the workpiece. The table is a single casting except in the case of two tables bolted together end to end. Then housings. This is the housing here. So at the sides of the bed, two vertical housing columns or uprights are arranged. The front face of each column is machined as a set of ways on which travel cross rail, which carries two tool heads. Most of these planers also carry two side tool head, one on each housing. Now next is cross rail. Cross rail is a horizontal member of heavy cross section connecting the two housings. It contributes to the rigidity of the machine. Its face is machined to provide ways for the two cross rail tool heads. Then regarding next part of the planer, that is tool head. There are a maximum of 4 tool heads on a double housing planer, 2 on the cross rail and 2 on the uprights, that is the side tool heads. They are mounted on the rail and the uprights by means of saddles. The cross rails tool heads are used for planing horizontal surfaces. So we'll discuss some of the types of planar machine. That is double housing planer. It is clear from the diagram that the double housing planer is most commonly used planer. This design has one drawback: because of the two housing, one on each side of the bed, it limits the width of the work that can be machined. So cross rail, over cross rail, the two tool heads are there. These are the side tool heads, table, and these are the vertical housings. Next type of planer is the open side planer, in which the design has only one column, this one, which supports a cross rail with the cross rail cantilevered from it. Thus the maximum number of tool heads on this planer is 3. Its advantage is that it can accommodate jobs which are too wide to fit between columns of an equivalent double housing planer. The portion of the hob extending beyond the table side must be supported properly. They are not as strong and rigid as a double housing planer. So this is the type of one of the type of planer machine, in which very easily the machining of the surfaces can be carried out. So in next slide we will discuss some of the differences of the shaper and planer.